The way he's playing, I think it must happen again. I think it's a real shame it didn't happen last week. I think he did everything he could do. I mean, it just didn't happen the last day, and you can see that it's not happening, and you can see he's flat, and you can see he's not going to suddenly throw in 5 birdies. And you just know that if someone else does, he could be stuffed. But I think over the week in general, I don't think he can complain about the way he played, the way his mental attitude was, even the way he putted. He had an awful lot of good long putts. Sometimes you just play well and you don't win. It's like if you hit a 5-iron into the water, it doesn't mean it was the wrong club. It just means it goes in the water. Well, I think it's already happening, but I think the tour that would be most under threat would probably be Europe. I think that's more likely to be sidelined, and I think the fact that we're strengthening our position in aligning with the American tour is probably a good thing. But the bottom line is we need to keep the preponderance of good players on the 2 main tours, because without those, that would affect TV contracts and all other sponsorship. But I mean, at the moment, I don't see that many sponsors going over to the Live Tour. So I don't think right now that's a big threat, but ultimately it could be. I think it would be way better for the 3 tours to try to work something out in harmony. But the problem is they don't have anyone without an agenda involved. They really need someone who has no real interest in who wins to go in and say, well, what we're trying to do here and how can we sort it out? But at the moment, the 2 main tours have to try and maintain their organisations, and Live Golf have to go in very heavily to try to survive. No, not at all. I thought it was an incredibly spurious argument to start with, the human rights thing. The tour's playing loads of countries where you could argue human rights are being violated. Our government was questioned about human rights when we were shipping illegal immigrants to Rwanda. I don't know if that's actually going ahead, but we play in Indonesia, we play in China, we play in all these places, and there's no, well, should you? Well, it's a golf tournament, but I do firmly believe that when it comes to Saudi Arabia, I think the chances of them becoming of having a much better human rights record is vastly improved by the introduction of more tourists, more Westerners into parts of Saudi Arabia. And I think that can only be a good thing. And I think they're probably aware of it being a good thing, because they have to look forward 25, 30 years to when oil is running out, or to when we no longer need oil and cars are running on hydrogen. God knows what we'll be fueling our houses with, gardens full of solar panels or something. So, Saudi are looking forward to that. They're building this 100-mile-long city and all that stuff. And, they know that tourism is the way forward with their climate. I mean, it's a stunning climate in our winter months. So, they're doing exactly the right thing. And I think they may have a bad human rights record, but I would imagine they're acutely aware that they have to improve it. And I think what happened to the journalist, I don't know if it's been proved beyond doubt that they were responsible, but I think they will be acutely aware that should anything like that happen again, they better not be held responsible, or it will put their tourism at jeopardy. I think generally the rooms is quite a bit in siding with the existing tours, and but that may well be because that no one else, most of the players are not getting huge offers of cash from the Live Tour, so that would colour people's arguments without question. If they rung me up and said, here's a few mil, come over and do this or that, I thought, well, yeah, you guys are great. You have to be realistic. So there's always going to, the more players that go over, the more the opinion will be evenly split. I mean, that's the way of the world. But I do think certain things stand out. And one is that at the moment, with the structure of the Live Tour, it's not good for golf. It's an exhibition tour right now. If they want to change it, then they have to change it at some point. But maybe they have to get the players first, which is exactly what they are doing. I don't know. Yeah, I think it'll be a natural decline in the world rankings for live players because, as far as I'm aware, there's no world ranking points given to live tournaments. So a lot of them will drift down the world rankings quite naturally. And it may be that the R&A will look at the past champions category and say that they will issue invitations to past champions rather than make an exemption category. A lot of things will change, but of course the R&A have to be careful from the legal aspect. And just like I would imagine the European Tours lawyers are working overtime at the moment because I would imagine they may be strengthening up the captain's contract for the Ryder Cup as well. It has to be absolutely watertight, and if they can find any flaws in it, they will be. The next guy who's captain will be signing something that's about 1,000 pages long instead of 200.